Hello everyone out there, this is Alexander F.O. Nileri of Kelebon Crypto. Welcome to my Lessons in Crypto series, part 4. We'll take a light step into seeing what altcoins are. So in other words, what are altcoins? This is simple and straight to the point. Altcoins are coins that are not Bitcoin. Altcoins are alternative coins to Bitcoin, hence altcoins. Simple. 2008 to 2009 financial crisis. In 2009, there was a financial crash where TradFi suckered everyone into losing their money under their Ponzi scheme named derivatives and security and mortgage debt that they were selling to each other. This prompted near riots in Greece, Spain, I believe, Italy, Iceland, and in England. And in America, you had Occupy Wall Street. But in some corner of the world, a gentleman or gentlewoman or persons we don't know, anonymous, wrote the white paper and developed something based on cryptography, proof of work, and decentralized network. Bitcoin. This was called Bitcoin, and a side order to that was the blockchain. However, Bitcoin was written on a simple, incomplete Turing programming language, which meant that there wasn't a lot you could do with it. Smart contracts. A young man named Vitalik Buterin came up with the idea to add smart contracts to a blockchain, and they also wrote a new programming language that was more complex than the incomplete Turing language. This gave birth to Ethereum. And for more details on that, please see my video, which I'll put down there, called What is Ethereum? More blockchains. Other developers seeing this decentralized blockchain entity, but maybe not use the Bitcoin Turing language or Solidity. Therefore, other people also started developing their own blockchain with different programming languages. Hence the proliferation of lots of alternative coins. Coins or tokens. When we talk about cryptocurrency or altcoins, there are two types of cryptocurrencies. One, coins that produce rewards for the computers and the people and nodes maintaining the blockchain. This will include Ethereum, Solana, Sui, Aptos. So cryptocurrencies are digital money tied to the blockchain. They possess the ability to be sent, received, and mined, and they act purely as digital money. Tokens, on the other hand, they're digital assets issued by the project to be used in the ecosystem that they're issued for. We're looking at governance tokens. We're looking at NFTs, also tokens. And we're also looking at stable coins. Cryptocurrencies are very volatile, which means when you want to send someone a cryptocurrency worth $20 from here to there, by the time they receive it, there could be a drop in volatility where it's now worth $10, or it could have gone up to $40. Thus, in 2014, BitUSD was created as the first stablecoin pegged to a cryptocurrency. BitUSD was a crypto-backed stablecoin. Tether's USDT. Tether created, in that same year, 2014, a stablecoin that was pegged to the dollar called USDT. And this has been used worldwide for the last 10 years, I guess. USDC. Since then, Circle has created the USDC, another stablecoin. RLUSDC. Ripple is about to create one called RLUSD, I believe. And other countries like Korea, Malaysia have their own stablecoin pegged to their own currency. So it's not just the dollar. Security tokens. Some of the altcoins are security tokens that sort of act as shares, and they're actually contributing cash liquidity to the company. These were the kind of coins the SEC was going after, calling them securities. And one of them included XRP, which is meant to have benefited from putting out the Ripple XRP coin and benefited from people buying this coin and making all the founders very rich. Utility tokens. Utility tokens are used to access services of the ecosystem. They're not investment, and the SEC is not supposed to be after them. These tend to be similar to loyalty cards, and they're not direct investment in the protocol. Some other tokens act as governance token, where because you own it, you have the a voice to vote on what should happen in the ecosystem. Gaming tokens. Some tokens are used in the gaming world. In the last bull run, we had Axie Infinity, where people being paid to play the game, and that went crazy. Normally, when you play a game, you buy a sword, you buy skins. Once you finish with that game, all that belongs to the creators of the games and stays in that game. With Web3, you're going to be able to sell them to other people, move it out of that game, and make a profit from what you've built up. This is why Web3 is important to gaming. And so, of course, some of those tokens are going to be used to trade in-game. This is where coins like Superverse come in, where the coins can be transacted over numerous games across protocols. So that's one thing to look forward to with altcoins. Legacy coins. Going back to the beginning of altcoins, legacy coins like Neo was supposed to be the Ethereum of the Asian market. So that was just almost a copy of the code, tweaked to benefit the Asian market. Tron built its own blockchain. It's one of the biggest blockchain in Asia. This project was trying to unlock inefficiencies they saw in coins previous to them. And so you have coins like Aptos, Sui, that have their own language, move language, developed by Meta, which is supposed to be faster than Solana, more efficient than Solana, more secure than Solana. Although I believe Sui had an outage, just like Solana used to in November. Ticker symbols. Another thing about altcoins is that although altcoins have their names, just like the stock market, they have a ticker symbol, which I think you might find confusing. So these ticker symbols tend to be between 3 and 5 letters. So Ethereum becomes ETH, Bitcoin is BTC, Ripple XRP becomes XRP, Chainlink is just Link, Render becomes RNDR, but it moved to Solana, is now Render token. Ondo Finance, just Ondo. Peanut the Squirrel, PNUT, and so you get the picture. So when you see those ticker symbols, make sure you know what coins they represent, because sometimes there's similarities between two coins, like Luna Virtual. The last thing I want to say about altcoins is that most altcoins raise money and produce a white paper to say what they're going to deliver to the world and how they're going to change the world. By the time they raise the money, the millions they raise, a lot of them haven't written a word of coding at all. So you got to be wary of that. A lot of altcoins proposing to do great things for the world, but a lot of them are just scams and rug pulls. So you got to be wary of that and definitely read and do your research. Most altcoins have white paper or pink paper. They put out their roadmap, they raise money, create a platform, create a website, and create a community on X, Twitter, create their tokens, building their community, and courting influencers on X and YouTube and Telegram. And most of them may start selling their tokens long before any code has been written. That's to say, the protocol they're selling you largely is speculative and a dream yet to be fulfilled. Some mean to carry through and build this protocol, but the problem is once the millions comes in and they raise millions, they soon lose interest in building any kind of protocol. And slowly, you don't get any more information from them on X, formerly Twitter, Telegram. They just go cold. But sometimes the community they build keep the coins going for ages. And I'm looking at you, Litecoin. I'm looking at you, Bitcoin Cash. Some, as I say, head to the nearest exit and rug pull. Some head to the nearest Lambo dealership and get cars they never dreamt they could afford and head for the exit. Some abandoned projects are resurrected. For instance, Pudgy Penguins was started by somebody else and was taken over by Luca Nertz, a young entrepreneur. The dolls that put him in Walmart and went on to build a protocol behind Pudgy Penguins, and now he airdropped a lot of it to Solana holders. Scams and rug pulls. Most altcoins simply come out, cut and paste hot narratives, give it a new name and release their token. This are most likely to be rug pulls. So you got to be careful. You got to genuinely do your own research. Read up on a topic. Read as many articles and papers as you can. It might seem difficult, but this will save you a lot of heartache and loss of profit in the future. As for now, the battle for the most, what's going to be the most adopted altcoin is anybody's guess. Research and due diligence. One thing you have to do with altcoins is go into ecosystem, go into X and check how much the amount of action is going on, the TVL, how much people are transacting on it, how many devs are building on it. For example, in 2020, most people's guess of what was going to be huge would have been Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Dash, EOS, Neo, a lot of legacy coins, and yet a lot of them didn't perform as well as you would have thought last bull run. However, in December, this bull run, a lot of legacy coins came back furiously. Stellar Lumen, XRP, Quant, no one believed they would have come out of nowhere and 4x. But if you looked into it, these coins were going to follow the iOS 2.0022 standardization, and that's why a lot of them did well. So you have to read about whatever altcoin you're interested in and do your research. The future. In this bull run, a lot of people will say it's going to be Sui, Aptos, Sei, Arbitrum, Tron, maybe Aero, Brett, Dog with Hat, Pepe, Solana are the coins that are going to do well. But in the future, who knows? So it's paramount with altcoins at the end of the bull run or just before the end of the bull run, you sell everything. Because most altcoins tend to draw down by 90% after they hit the top. Without fail, most of newbies who just come into crypto will hold onto the coin hoping it's going to go to the moon, even though it's already 10, 20 or 30x. Don't be greedy with altcoins. Take your money and come out of the place and live to fight another day. Because by the time everything settles down and the winners have been decided, the 1000x coins fade to black and go to zero, and you'll be left holding the bag. So that's my bit on altcoins. So on to the next one, when I come out with part 5. This is Alexander F.O. Nileri saying, see you next time.